Hi, I am Mike of New Love Dice. This is the Kerbal Space Program. Right, this is the Mun Hopper. Now, the last thing that happened with my Mun Hopper is it fell apart. Landing on the Mun. Which is obviously a bit of a problem. Now, I had a look at the log for this, and it said basically that the link that broke was between one of these engines and the Z4K rechargeable battery pack. Which, no, I don't know how the attachment system works, like behind the scenes on Kerbal Space Program. I don't know whether attaching, because if it is just attached to that battery, that's just a little thin thing. That might be a very thin point of contact. Whereas if it was attached to, you know, a big solid thing, like let's just randomly pick a thing. No, I want one of these. Where are all the fuel tanks? Okay, right. So if I put a fuel tank on like that, right? Visually, that looks like it's got a good solid contact. You know, lots of a big surface area to do the contact on. If I chuck on a battery, right, and I attach it to the battery, right, like this, that's got less of a surface area of contact. I don't know if that's important. But obviously what I can do, I can just strut the thing. I can just put lots of struts on, and so I can make sure that doesn't happen again. The other problem that I had was that I didn't actually have as much delta V as I thought I did, because I had so much ore on the ship that even after I completely refueled, I had still quite a lot of ore left. And so I ended up not having as much delta V as I would have liked. I can if I chuck in some ore, you can see I go from, you know, 1600 delta V. I can go all the way down to 1142. And given that you need 660-ish, I think it is, to take off, and thus 660-ish to land, I don't want to go that low. I want at least 1300 so I can take off and land, because I was running out of delta V. Now, I've decided what I'm going to do about that, which is that I'm going to, I'll just grab that. Don't want it to go anywhere. I'll grab that. Whoop. I'm going to take away this big tank, because I'm of the opinion that I don't need that big tank anymore. I needed the big tank originally, apart from anything else, because there was a contract to. Ooh, that's weird. Look at that. You can see through the whole thing. Anyway, I had a contract to get a whole bunch of ore onto the, you know, from the Mun. I didn't need to take it off or anything. I just needed to get it. So having that great big tank was right for that particular thing. But now I don't need it. I just don't need that much ore. So now I've got a stage where if I'm full up on ore, then I'm fine. Now, for some reason, my thrust to weight ratio has gone down. What is my? What? Oh, it thinks I'm on Kerbal. Okay. I should also have a bigger thrust to weight ratio because I've just chucked away that great big tank. Not that great big thing, that great big tank. Which on its own is 2 tons. Wow. Right, so currently the whole thing is 38 tons. Now, I'm wondering. See, the fact that I now have less ore. Now I've chucked away that big tank of ore, which can weigh just absurd amounts when it's full. I now only have these smaller tanks, but that's fine. But that just means that when I refuel, I mean, ideally, if I'm lucky, then I think a unit of ore becomes 2 units. Of not so much 2 units of fuel, but it fills up the liquid oxygen and the fuel. So I think each of those will fill up each of those. I think I can check. I can test that. I've made the whole thing shorter, which is nice. That's going to help with its balancing issue, any kind of balancing issues. So I was thinking, do I want to go and try and replace these engine pods, specifically these engines, with nuclear engines, because they should, in theory, get me more delta V. Now, obviously I'm losing at this point because I think 4 engines weighs too much. That adds another 20 tons to the whole shebang. So let's try something else. Let's go down to 1. Then go to so I'm reducing the number of engines, but I don't want to reduce the amount of fuel. No, I think I'm still better off as I was before. I'm always just looking for that mystical point where nuke engines become the better option, and I'm impressed enough that I found one where that's the case. But that's still better engine. I get more thrust, I get more, and I still get more delta V. I don't think any of the other I mean, the Terrier, I think, is still my best bet. It's just the size of it, its ISP value, just all add up to this being the correct engine to use. Yeah. I mean, what happens if I put the spark on? I don't think the spark gives me. Yeah, spark actually gives me less delta V, because this whole shebang weighing 38 tons, the difference, the sparks are tiny. That's how they often give you a really good delta V values, because they're just so tiny. All right, so but I mean, so the 909s are heavier, but given the weight of it, the difference of adding 4 of those as opposed to adding 4 sparks just isn't enough to cause problems. So it's time to strut this thing. I don't like that, it's ugly. Close enough. Oh yeah, I do have to take into account that thing on the side there. It's a bit of a pain, you can't attach anything to the ISRU. Okay, so let's do our attachments from down here then, from this angle. What else can we strut? Let us strut. So I believe that this should solve the 2 problems I had. The lack of delta V and bits falling off. Oh, that's right, I had a light. You just can't add anything to the side of the ISRU, which is really actually kind of aggravating. Now that was just one of my lights for showing the thing off, so I think I'll put it there in fact. So those will shine down the body of the craft, so you, when we're in space you'll be able to see. What's going on. Right, so I've attached the lifter stage. I was hoping that I'd put some struts together. Not the lifter stage, the transfer stage. Very often when you do that, any struts that you've attached from one to the other come back. But not this time. So these are struts keeping the craft attached while it's in its fairing. So that's all attaching all those things together, and those struts disappear when that decoupler decouples. Now I do find myself wondering if this might be the time to work out how to make a rover to attach onto the underside. One thought would be to actually make this Science Junior effectively into a rover. So there will be a docking port. It wouldn't just attach, it would attach via a docking port. Which means I would have to get rid of some of these struts. I wouldn't be able to strut it up like this. But I honestly, at this moment, I just kind of want to see if this version would work. I've gotten rid of a bunch of weights. I've made it more sturdy. I could probably do with getting rid of a lot of that enormous monoprop tack. I doubt I need it. I don't think I'm ever going to need that much monoprop. Although at this stage it's kind of like I would have to take the whole thing apart again and put it back together. Not really sure I want to do that. So I could replace that potentially with a smaller monoprop tank. With that one, probably. I was hoping that the monoprop would, but I would be able to use the RCS to, you know, actually move noticeable distances. Yeah, speeding myself up, slowing myself down. But it doesn't look that way. One possibility is to add more thrusters on the side here. I don't know if that's a good idea. That still gets quite low when if I have the fuel tanks completely full. But still, that's 1.249. That's still enough to nearly but not quite take off and thus land. So that should be fine. Oh, let's just quickly check my staging's not gone stupid. Yep, that's all fine. And so I just need to build the fairing out again. To rename this. I called it Moon Jumper to begin with, but then I called it Mun Hopper. One thing I would really like is a way of saving ships within projects. So at the moment, if I load up a ship, you know, all the various, I mean, I've got loads, just so many. And I have no way of organizing them, and I have no way of searching through them. That would be a kind of a neat thing to be able to do. But anyway, that's the new. I've made 2 changes. Oh wow, that fairing's stupid. I'm going to redo the fairing. But anyway, I've made a couple of changes. Hopefully it's going to be better, and I can send this off and go and rescue my 2 Kerbals. And hopefully, resume the mission. So anyway, that'll be next time. So thanks so much for watching. Please hit like and subscribe if you've been enjoying these videos. Come join NeilLoveDice, NeilLoveDice.com. We're also on Facebook and Twitter. And until next time, reach for the stars.